Welcome back, everyone, to the Questing Bar. I'm Angela Tana, and those of you who are new, welcome. So I know it's been a while since we last spoke and chatted, and you heard from me. I've been a bit busy. I had guests and all this crazy, hectic stuff, and work started, and it's just crazy. Anyways, also happy autumn. So I do have some news, stuff going on, and I promise from now on I'm going to try to really keep a good rhythmic pattern, going back into a good flow again and producing more videos. I do have some news. I did send another query letter to Tori Sharp. She has a unique way of doing her queries, looking at them. So what she does is she looks at them in a way and she has different files. So if you didn't hear from her in 1 week, that means she probably put it in a maybe file. That means she wants to give it more time and look at it more. So, and then after that, you have until I think 6 weeks, roughly, or 5 weeks. I think it's 5 weeks, additional 5. So 5 weeks. And then if you don't hear from her, that pretty much means she's not interested. So it's been 1 week so far since I did it. So it's in the maybe file, I think. No, I'm not getting my hopes up because she is, I think, number 4 on my list. So number 4 on my list is okay, but not the best. But it's going down, so there's least likely. So why did I give her a shot? That's a good question. Why did I give her a shot? I gave her a shot is because she was a chance. There were some interests we had. She liked Ella Enchanted. I'm not a fan of Ella Enchanted, but I love it. I really enjoyed the movie. I watched it a few times. I loved it because it was a unique twist. It was hilarious, and I love the fantasy aspect, and it was something different and unique. And that's what I liked about it. But no, I wasn't into all the romantic stuff and all this stuff. But it was an interesting twist. It was very dynamic in its own way. Great angle of storytelling from the traditional Cinderella story. So that was good. That's what I liked about it. So I'm hoping that kind of connection will kind of link us together. And maybe she'll accept it. We'll see. It's a shot in the dark, but we'll see if she'll accept it or not. On to another news. I am working on something else. You're like, oh no, what about the first one? Well, the first one is kind of on its way. It's trying to get submitted and going into a publication world. It's trying to get that done. There's nothing much I can do with it right now, except wait, pray, and hope, and expect the disappointments and unexpected, and all that. So I am working on something new. I was going to wait till November because it's National Writing Month thingy that happens, and I was going to wait. What is this National Writing thing? I'm going to talk more about it as we get a little closer. Maybe next week I'll go into it in a bit more detail. So what that is a time where anyone can do it, authors, newbies, can sit down and dedicate each day to writing a certain amount of words per day. But oh my God, right? But it's kind of to motivate and encourage you to write every day, because that's how you're going to get it done. Because a lot of times you feel like writing this huge manuscript, but then we're like, that's so much work, right? So that is a really good way of motivating and encouraging you to keep writing every day. So I was going to wait, but I'm a little impatient. So I decided to get started. So you guys are probably like, ooh, what is this new story you have in mind, right? Yeah. So I can't wait for November, and I can't sit and wait for my first one to be accepted. Now you guys are probably wondering, wait, isn't that a series? So what about, shouldn't you dedicate time for the second one? True, I should and could, But frankly, at this stage, it's a waste of energy and time. And plus, it is very difficult to start a sequel than it is a prequel. So I think I need a little break from it to step away and do something else and then come back to it. So that will be a really good exercise and good way of freshening my mind up a little for that. And I should wait until I get some good reviews, good remarks, and saying, hey, yeah, plan for the sequel, go write it while we get this thing done because it's good. And I think it's going to sell well. Not like J.K. Rowling well, but it will do well. It'll be okay. Enough that we can definitely want a sequel there. So when I get the thumbs up and green light for like, yeah, go ahead, do book 2 for it, I will stop what I'm doing now for this one and go ahead and do that one. So what is this new one? What is this new one? You guys are like, ooh, what is it? So what this new one is it's something I got inspired by Lion King. I'm like, oh my God, Lion King. But in a different version. So Lion King, I feel like it's a tale we've heard many times, but it's classic and we love it. You know, a young boy who is destined for his throne, and it's a coming of age story, and he has to accept that he's the rightful heir to the throne, and he has to learn to forgive himself and that it wasn't his fault. You know, Scar set him up, right? So he had to kind of face his past. He has to overcome his problems and understand that, you know, his dad didn't. He would have died for him anyways, and you know, because that's what parents do. And don't be too hard on yourself. And you know, we have to learn from our mistakes and move on. And that's how we become better people, better human beings, or better leaders. And it's in most cases because he was a lion, not a human. But we are animals. Whatever. All right, so my thing is kind of similar. And you're like, oh my God, but it's not cookie cutter similar. I was tempted to do that, but I felt like that would be too predictable and it needed to be a bit more. And it is a lot more. And this is going to be a very layered, very heavy book. Not heavy in a way, it might be heavy. I don't know if it will, most likely. But heavy in meaning very layered, very rich in the storytelling aspect. Now I'm going to show you just a sneak peek of it. Let's see if I can try to hide the character's name. So I kind of have some stuffies here and stuff here and more. Yep, a lot of fun stuff here. Yeah. So there's a sneak peek for you. So like, we didn't see really anything, but you see I'm writing. I'm in the middle of the writing process. I'm doing this one freehand. Oh my God, I'm doing it freehand. Yeah. It's a process that I've learned that a lot of writers do anyways. I used to doing the more typing thing, but I decided to take an unusual route with this one. Just to try something new, just to get a feel. This is gonna be something big, really epic, really big. You're like, wait, isn't their first one epically big? Yes. But this one, I don't even know how many books it's gonna be. I don't even have like each individual book is not even it doesn't even have a solid plot. That's how big and complex it's going to become. It's not geared for children. Like kids can read it. It's more of like YA and adults. But children like 10, 11, 8, 9 can definitely read it. If they are advanced enough, they can definitely take a stab at it. I personally would not recommend it, but they can. It's really up to them and the parents' discretion. So yeah, it is a coming of age, but so we did hear the time old story again and again, but it's always a guy. So this time it's like a girl. I'm doing a girl version. They're like, ooh, right? Why not? And of course you probably saw Snow White and the Huntsman. There's like that same thing, but why did it have to be Kristen Stewart? And why did it have to be like not great? Like I didn't feel okay. I felt something at the end and that whole great thing, but it felt very lackluster when really she wasn't like the best person to be casted, and the story was just not meshing well. It was just working. But we felt like the Lion King story has been done many times, you know, with Prince Caspian and Narnia and stuff like that. Definitely Snow White definitely seemed to be reiterating that a little bit more too, which was great, but not where I wanted to go. You know, a young prince or princess forced to leave her home and then return as its triumphant hero and rightful leader. You know, that's kind of what I want, but I don't know if it's going to work in the cookie cutter format. But there is definitely some going to be Hallmark references, and I'm definitely going to bring shout outs to that. I do plan for a run. I definitely plan for an escape, a run, a moment of false deaths and stuff like that. Oops, I gave too much. All right. Well, you get the thing about that. And of course, it's not like we all know that, you know, like Simba, we knew he was alive, but everybody else, the characters didn't know. So there's going to be some of that fun play. So there's elements of Lion King in there, like, oh, I get what you're doing here. I get it. This is like a hats off thing. So that's what I'll be doing. I don't know when it's going to be finished. I don't know. I'm just going to work on bits and pieces and try to start meshing them together. Primarily the first book, but eventually it will have more. Obviously, it will be a series of books because it's a story that's not going to end. It's like Lord of the Rings. It's like the epicness of Lord of the Rings scale. Like, it's technically one big story, but it's split into 3 sections or even further to several sections. We can make up 3 books. So more or less, this is one big story. I just have to know where to divide it. That's the only problem, is to figuring out the divides. And then making sure that each cohesive part has its own individual unique plot, so it's still engaging and moving. And you're like, oh my god, what's that next? What's that next? What's that next? So is there gonna be cliffhangers? Probably. But I definitely need to put more of a plot. I definitely need more plot. There's character development plot, but there's not so much like story plot, and that needs to be developed further. All right, so that's that for my new stuff. I promised you guys the Harry Potter thing. I definitely promised that. Wednesday. You're gonna guys get it. You'll get it. All right. I even have the Harry Potter sweatshirt on to give you guys more encouragement and to really motivate you guys and really to show my commitment to getting it done. Okay. So apart from that, I think I've covered everything. Okay. And for those of you who have not heard, I do have a Facebook account under the name Angela Tano. All right. And next week we will discuss world building. All right. And so, and those of you who are new, if you haven't been here, like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more future videos like this. And see you all guys later. See ya.